Hello, everyone. Um, as a student, we used to play a game because a lot of times we had to, I don't know, read about certain topics or prepare a presentation, and we had to do that, I guess, almost daily in different classes. And usually the game was that at a certain point, someone touches their nose with their finger, and whoever does that last is the one who has to present the game. At that point, we were already 18 and we were adults, and I was like, I guess being too extra and too stubborn to do it. And so I said, when I entered this school, I was like, we're adults and we're here voluntarily, and I'm too old to play stupid games like that, and I will refuse no matter what. The result of that was that I had to present literally every single thing that we had to do for years in that school. And the thing is, I didn't like presenting in front of a group at all because I'm kind of, I guess, shy introverted. And I usually talked way too fast and I was nervous all the time. But I'm also stubborn. And so, because I said that, I went through with it. And I'm really, really happy that I did that. And I usually tell this story to my pupils as well, because a lot of kids as well are extremely nervous when they have to do a presentation in front of the class, which is understandable. I still remember to this day when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old and I had to do like some of my first presentations in front of the class. I was like nervous for weeks. I couldn't even imagine. It was so horrible because I think you never do that. Like sometimes you like raise your hand, but you sit in your class, but standing in front of the class and speaking, you never do that. Or maybe you do that once in a year when there's like this big presentation and then you're insane. Or at least a lot of kids, I think, struggle with it and are like extremely nervous about it. And I think the reason for that is because they don't practice it. Because in what kind of setting do you speak in front of people, especially as a child? And I don't think I realized that when I was a student, but I'm so glad because when I started being a teacher, I noticed that even in front of the parents or in front of the kids, I never cared much about being in front of people. And I remember some younger coworkers usually said they were nervous, and I always thought, and even in hindsight, I feel like that's like a big red flag. Because how do you want to have authority and like have children follow you and like present something or also talk to like parents because usually you invite all of them and talk in front of them like with confidence when you're like so shy and you don't like being in front of people at all. So I feel like it's actually a extremely important quality to have, whether it's in teaching or in other jobs, and some more and some less, but in teaching especially, that you're comfortable talking in front of people. And I feel like the only reason I got one better at it and two, I got more and more comfortable. And I always tell this story to my people again, is like if you do something 1,000 times, at the thousandth time, it's gonna be so natural and you literally can do it in your sleep. But for that you have to do it the first time at some point. And if you do it once, then when it goes bad or good, you're gonna have like a very vivid memory. But if you do it 100 times and 11 of those times were bad and 17 were okay and 25 were good, you were not gonna remember every single one of them. So even if you start and you do some mistakes, doesn't matter. But it's important that you keep practicing. And I thought about this today because I remember when I arrived in Korea, I've never used like a public laundry room. And I also know by now that a lot of them work kind of differently. But the first time it was so difficult because I didn't understand anything. You needed some sort of member card. You also needed certain coins that I didn't have. And I walked back and forth to the store only to find out 1 month later that in the laundry room, they have like machines where you can put in like higher amounts of cash and they just give you those specific coins and so on. And yeah, it gets easier. Also, not. Like it goes up and down. I don't know. It's not linear. Progress isn't linear, but it gets easier after time. But for that to happen, you have to start and you have to do it the first time. And whatever it is that you might are afraid of or you don't want to try, it was the same for me with doing martial arts, kickboxing the first time. I felt so afraid, so out of comfort zone, but I had to go once for it to become natural, and then at some point it was fine. So go once, and if it fails, go twice, and then at least at the third time, fourth time, you're already not gonna worry about it too much. Thank you for listening. If you made it till here in the video, and have a good day. Bye bye.